Welcome to the video. This video is a quick follow-up on the things that we saw at the UK Drone Show. Now, the UK Drone Show was held over the weekend of the 3rd and 4th of December at the NEC in Birmingham. And for those of you watching in HD, that's all the people who were there, we had a fantastic day. We could only unfortunately spare the day on Saturday to go around the show, but we had an absolutely fantastic time. So first of all, can I say a massive thank you to everyone that came up and said hello, shook my hand, and talked about what they're doing with the hobby, how they're flying, and also had a couple of questions too about technology. It's always a pleasure to meet subscribers of the channel, so thank you to everyone that came up and said hi, and apologies to those of you that didn't manage to find me on the day. Now, a couple of things that we found that I want to kind of show you were kind of quite cool stuff. There was an awful lot of stuff being sold there. There was a huge flight zone where they were using Connex technology. Seemed to be quite a few problems getting the Connex to run nice and clean, but I'll talk about that in a later video because we're going to be updating our Connex system here, so hopefully that would improve matters. So the stuff I'd like to do is quickly run through all of the really cool stuff that we saw, and what I'll do is in the bottom of the video I'll put a time code, so if you can kind of jump to any particular thing that you're interested in. So first of all, let me start with the guys at Fossil. Now they've just released a new frame that's a little bit different from any that I've seen before. Whereas rather the carbon fibre arms being horizontal and those arms and the ESCs that are mounted to them being in the way of the prop wash coming down from the prop, they've done something a bit funky. They've actually mounted the arms at 90 degrees, so the arms are vertical and out of the prop wash as you possibly get. They've also used an unusual tension system around the outside of the frame to maintain additional rigidity. So even though the frames are at that 90 degree, the frame is nice and robust. Now they're saying that they're getting some significant improvements in power because all of the thrust is being able to direct it down. We've got a frame on the way, so when we get one we'll build it and we'll have a go. But it's certainly an interesting idea, and I know the guys are actually planning to go for a speed record. Next thing I'll talk about then is these two bits of technology here. Now I bumped into Dominic Clifton. Dominic Clifton, the father of Cleanflight, he unveiled two brand new things. Now he had hinted to me that this was coming, but I didn't have any detail. Now these are the two brand new things that he released at the show. The first one is the new FPV Racing F3 Neo. Let me very quickly take it out of its little bag. We've got these two so that we can build them out and do a little review, but these guys have a very cool little trick. So the flight controller is one of those that it's a power distribution board and a flight controller in one, and it stacks with this module that goes on the top, and this module is an on-screen display and the video transmitter as well, and this is one of those on-screen displays that's actually configurable through Cleanflight, as you'd expect from someone like Dominic. Now the manual as we're recording this video is not available on the website, so I'm waiting for that to appear so that we can start to play around with this stuff. But it means by putting these two boards together, all you need to do is connect your XT60, connect your receiver, and there's actually a cable in the kit to connect it to the XSR, and then you connect your little flying lead for your video antenna and you are good to go. So that is going to be something that we're going to play with in a later part of the series. The next piece of technology I'll talk about is this thing here. This is something from CJL Tech. Now they were on the iDrone stand. I'll put a link both to iDrone because they'll be selling these things here in the UK, and I believe these are coming to North America and other territories soon. We're going to do a video on this. What this actually is, it is a very, very high powered infrared floodlight. And if you're going to use something like an infrared sensitive camera, so we have one of the Night Eagles on the way from Runcam, you can go and watch some of the videos we've already done with some of the Runcam cameras, because some of those are infrared sensitive. So we have that Night Eagle coming, and we'll see what it's like compared with the normal Eagle, because actually the normal Eagle's pretty good at night anyway. But this is a bit of a game changer. It pulls about an amp, so if you're on a racing drone, that's not going to really affect the overall flight times with the 60, 70, 80 amps that you're going to be pulling anyway, but it does provide an infrared floodlit area in front of the craft and significantly improves the view. Now we are going to, in our video where we look at the Runcan camera, stick this on top of the rig as well, and also see what difference it makes turning it on or turn it off. Now this is brand new, it was actually announced at the show, so we are fascinated to see how this actually works. They had some demo video and it was pretty impressive, so I'm interested to see what it works like in our environment. There was a couple of stores there. This is something that we bought. We got this one from the guys at Drone Bits. We've bought loads of stuff from them recently, including lots of props. We've replaced a lot of the props on the racing stuff because as we've been goofing around, we tend to break everything. They've been selling the Dal props, a set of 4 for less than £2, so we've had lots of those off them. But this is actually a Fox Ear 25 switcher adjustable video transmitter. We always need video transmitters when we're doing stuff, so I got this one from those guys. The nice thing about this is the output power is switchable between 25, 200 and 600 milliwatts, which for me is pretty much what you should be looking for these days. So if you want to be compliant with the UK legislation, you can run at 25, or if you are somewhere else where you don't have to be cognizant of the 25 milliwatt limit, you can switch it up. It's a 40 channel, so includes race bands, also includes the 5 volts to run the camera. We're going to be using this in one of the builds that we'll be doing in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Two other things that we're going to talk about on the channel as well are FPV racing simulators. Now we've been asked about this in the past couple of weeks, and it's something that we haven't really had a lot of experience with. But there were two at the show that we're going to download and have a crack at. The first one is Velocidrone. This is one that you download and install. I think it's about £15, and it is trying to simulate the environment rather than being more of a kind of arcade flyer. And the other one that we're really interested in is this one here, dronesimulation.co.uk. This is one where it's a subscription-based cost, but they had a very big stand and it looked particularly impressive. So we spoke to those guys and we're getting a license and we're going to have a crack at those as well. So do stay tuned as we look at these over the coming weeks. Another outfit that we saw, or that we haven't got anything here to talk about, is UAV Graphics. Now UAV Graphics make and manufacture things like custom landing pads and banners and things like that as well. Now we made a video a while ago about what we're using at the moment for a landing pad, but I've been after one with the Painless 360 logo on for ages, and these are the guys that do it. So we're looking at getting one of those from them, and also potentially working with them on a new product that I'm kind of after as well, and it looks like those guys might develop it. So just a shout out to those guys, because the stuff that they had at the show was very nice, and I'm kind of looking forward to having a landing pad with the painless pill on it. Other things that we saw at the show, obviously the other thing here is we got the Menace RC antennas. We are massive fans of these. We've already done the review video, so I'm not going to say too much more about that, but these are the production units. So I went over to that stand to buy another couple because we are swapping out an awful lot of our antennas in favour of these. But as you can see, this little lightweight cover that's on here now does make them an awful lot more robust. We actually have a little 3D printable shroud that can go over it, but actually this should mean that these things are getting pretty bulletproof. So we went and got another two, because at the moment we've got them on pretty much everything, but there's a couple of models that I wanted to add them to. Last couple of things to talk about. We bumped into a couple of guys from Team Blacksheep. They had a whole backpack full of goodies, so I'm going to be getting on to Trappy and the guys over there to see if we can get some of it on the channel. This shows examples of new quads, the new layout of the TBS Power Cube with the new vision system at the bottom. There was even some pre-production units that they had in the backpack as well. So there was lots of goodness in there that hopefully we'll be able to look at over the winter months. So in summary, we had an absolute blast, and we'll be covering this technology in the coming weeks and months. So stay tuned to see it all being used. So again, the links to everything we've just talked about, we'll stick it down in the description so you can go and have a look. For us, those are the highlights of the show, but there were loads of people there, and I'm looking forward to going again next year, where hopefully it'll be even bigger with even more interesting stuff to look at. Thank you for taking the time to watch that video. There are lots of other videos on the channel, and they're carefully ordered into playlists, so you may find that there are other videos on this same subject that you can go and watch. So I would recommend going into the playlist area of Painless 360 YouTube channel and looking around and seeing what there is. You never know what you might find. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and happy flying.